What a night. Here's Jurgen Klopp with Des. Fair play. Well said him, just playing it down. You know what? He loves nights like this, doesn't he? He loves the battle, he loves the challenge, but more than anything else, he loves the win.
Yeah, 100%, and you touched on it then. The fact that they've won, regardless of how they do it, is irrelevant. It's just about getting the win on nights like this.
So what happens to you now? You just head home and chill out?
Yeah, it's been a long day.
It's all right. It's been a long day. Cheers, Rio. We've got another hour of fun to go.
3 hours with you, that's fine.
That's unbelievable. If we allow him to be on the show, after the break, you'll see Champions League tonight with myself, Joe Cole, and possibly Peter Crouch. See you in a couple of minutes. Thanks very much, gentlemen. What and perhaps he got the right one.
Yeah, I think we agree with that process in the Premier League, but in Europe we've seen it's kind of taken into the referee's hands. I think they're made clear that there may be a mistake. Go and review it and come to your own conclusion. I don't think that's the case in the Premier League. I think it's kind of you've made a mistake. Let's change that decision. You've
got to be careful though. I mean, Peter Walton was watching it and he said, you know, there is the slightest bit of contact, but.
Well, that's the thing. There's no doubt that he makes the most of the of the push. He's gone over easy, but you know he's going to do that. But there is slight contact, so it could quite easily have been a penalty, that.
But in many ways, this is what the pitch sub monitor is there for. It allows the referee to see something that he can't see in real time.
Yeah, and I think he's just seen that Jimenez has gone down not naturally, so I think that's kind of tweaked it in Liverpool's favour. I think, as I said, if he just falls and collapses rather than spins and goes down with a bit more, less theatrical, I think he sticks with his decision and gives the penalty.
I think it looks even more clumsy because he's fell over him at the end there. And I just thought that, I mean, it could have gone either way. I think for him to overturn it was a big call from the referee. Fair play to him.
Particularly when you've got Diego Simeone about 10 yards away, staring at you. Tens of thousands of people in the stadium saying, don't do it. So, fair play, Daniel Siebert. That's
strong decision from the referee, as I said, and I think it was the right one.
Strong decision from the ref. Strong start by Liverpool. This almost feels like it happened a week ago. But they started the game brilliantly, taking a 2-goal lead. Let's go through it.
Yeah, first 15 minutes, Liverpool. It was all Liverpool. You know, they couldn't get a touch, could they? And you know, we just thought it was business as usual. With Salah dancing around three of them and getting his goal. Obviously, we thought at first that Milner got a touch to this, but you know, it came off Kondogbia, and that'll go down as Salah's goal.
Yeah, great finish. But again, this now obviously doesn't know much about it, but as it comes to it, great connection. It's one of the ones you hit and it's just flush off your feet, and you know you've caught it so sweet, and to see it flying to the top corner was a great finish.
Yeah, it was terrible defending, a beautiful goal from Keita, but I think that was bittersweet. I think at this point he thought, you know, it was all going according to plan, but he got done for both goals, Keita, and then got dragged at half-time, and I thought, if you look at both of the goals, which we'll see in a minute, he was disappointing on them.
Yeah, and we've mentioned how good their unbeaten run is. You know that in the 7 away games they've played so far this season, they've scored at least 3 in every single game.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible record. I mean, they're back to the year they won the title, and they were blue teams away. They're back to that form.
Yeah. OK, let's go through the contentious moment then, where there was a goal scored, it stood for Atletico, and we were questioning it in here. Peter Walton had a slightly different opinion of it. Peter, I think maybe the best thing is for us to watch it through, and maybe for you just to talk us through from a referee's perspective why you feel the right decision was made here, taking into account the laws of the game.
Yeah, well, we can see it when it's played here. The laws are quite specific. There's 3 points that you know, make a player offside. The moment the ball's kicked, Lamar is always in an offside position, as you can see here when the ball's crossed through. He's offside position. The actual offence occurs if he attempts to play the ball, or he actually plays the ball, which he does neither. And the most contentious one is, does he impede his opponent from playing the ball? And that's the one we decide here. Does he impede Mappit in playing the ball? And that's very subjective. And, of course, what the referee needs is that clear evidence that he does impede him. My opinion here that he doesn't. Mappit just stops there, thinking he's going to touch the ball, and should follow through. So the referee doesn't have that clear evidence to overturn his on-field decision, which, in fact, was the goal.
The first 2 points, Peter, you make there, Peter, I understand. The last one, in regards to him not impeding Matip, you honestly believe Matip doesn't attempt to kick that ball if Lamar is not there?
No, that's not the question actually, there, Julian. What I'm saying is that Mappet was he interfered with in attempting to play that ball? I don't think he was, and that's the law. You can't read what's in the mind of a player. I can only go what the law says, and the law's quite specific on there. Does he intentionally stop Matic from playing that ball?
Yes.
And that's a subjective viewpoint, and because it's subjective, that's where we should go with the on-field referee's decision, because we don't have the clear evidence to the contrary.
I think his presence hinders Matip clearing that ball. He's in his eye line, he jumps over the ball, and I think that affects Matip being able to go and clear the ball. It is a contentious decision, I agree with that, but for him to jump over the ball has to interfere with Matip's decision.
Do you get that, Peter? I mean, we've got two former players here, both saying that they believe if that player isn't there, Matip clears that ball.
Yeah, I can understand their viewpoint, and they're talking from a player's point of view. I'm just talking from the laws of the game, and the laws of the game are quite specific.
Yeah,
so, look, I'm not hiding behind the laws, I'm just saying what it is, and the referee there doesn't have that evidence to the contrary, so therefore he gives the goal.
What if that player is standing right in front of the goalkeeper, the ball gets played, he jumps up, the ball goes past him, he makes no attempt to play the ball, he jumps up, the ball goes under and it goes in?
Yeah, again, that's a great point, and that's actually interfering with the goalkeeper's vision. He didn't interfere with the vision of Mappet there. Mappet could clearly see the ball all the way through.
Yeah, but you can't kick the ball if the opposition player is standing where you'd... because he'd boot him and concede a penalty.
Well, again, I don't know that, do I? And I'm only going with the actions of the player. And the action of the player there is to jump over the ball, and Mappet stops suddenly and lets the ball go through. So, again, with the goalkeeper, it's line of sight. With the player, it's when it interferes with the actual kicking motion.
Do you think the law is fit for purpose in this instance?
The law is there for the referee to arbitrate on, and the law is there really for the entertainment value of the game. So let's have more goals. Let's not chalk them off.
Oh, well, doesn't matter how they get scored or what happens.
Yeah, but to be honest, speaking from my, with an attacker's head on there, if that goal's not given, I would be fuming.
You would be fuming?
I would be angry. I would be.
With jumping over the ball and you know you've interfered.
I know, but I do think that there is... I still think it should be ruled out 100% with a letter of law, but if someone doesn't touch the ball and I've scored a goal, I would be fuming.
I just think that's an example of a law that is written by people that haven't experienced that. Yeah. Because there's no way he doesn't attempt to... I'm not saying he definitely clears it. There's no way he doesn't attempt to clear it.
That moment's hesitation that he has there is because he's in the way Lamar.
Yeah, 100%.
Peter, just briefly, this is a recurring conversation, isn't it, about having footballers more central to either the laws or the interpretation of the laws?
Yeah. Well, it is, and the lawmakers have ex-players on their committees to give us those guidelines, and it's actually novel there that you've got a defender who's saying it's clearly interfering and a forward who's saying who'd moan about it. So, again, it depends on where on the field of play you actually play. So, but the lawmakers do have ex-professional players giving them some guidance.
Yeah, and Jolien sitting there going, they must be forwards, they can't be defenders. No.
Well, one's Marco van Basten, so help you. There you go.
He knows a thing or two about the game, let's be fair. All right, thank you very much, Peter. Right, stay where you are. In a couple of minutes, we're going to hear from Jurgen Klopp, get his thoughts. There may have been...